Hey guys, welcome to Let's Talk Venture, the podcast dedicated to travelers, backpackers, and explorers with thousands of stories. My name is Tony, and today and for the month of December, I will publish some extracts from the previous interviews with the guests of Let's Talk Venture in a new format called Short Stories for Big Adventure. So here's an extract from my previous interview with Amy, who was doing some workaway at the Alter Hostel during August 2019. How was Paris?
So actually, to start with, I stayed with like an Airbnb.
Yeah.
Because it was like cheaper than a hostel.
Really?
Yeah, it was like 18 euros.
Okay, it was a trap.
How?
Was it a trap at the end?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, it was really nice actually. This woman, she had this tiny apartment, but like really like high ceilings and really old-fashioned. And her daughter had gone away with her dad for the summer, so I was just staying in her daughter's room. And yeah, we would just have dinner together, and it was just really nice to connect with someone from Paris. And then, yeah, I stayed there for like 5 nights, I think, with her. And then, for some reason, I decided I wanted to stay a bit longer in Paris. I think from that experience and being the neighborhood she lived in was like east of Paris. It was just by this big park. I forget the name now.
Northeast?
Yeah, northeast.
Les Buttes Chaumont. Was it a park with a giant hill with a little Porsche on the top?
Yes, it was so beautiful.
It's a really nice park.
So from that, I was like, I really want to stay longer in Paris. But then the place that I got was like in the suburbs, in like Noisy-le-Sec.
Yeah.
And it was just totally different. And it was with a Spanish family who just weren't there. And so I was kind of isolated a bit. And then from there I went to a B&B, and that was like kind of in a more central area. And yeah, then I was like, I want to get out of here. Like I wish I could kind of, well, I don't know, if I left after having that first impression of that park, I don't know whether that would have been good or bad, because I wouldn't have got like a full picture, but I think I overstayed in Paris, and just spending money as well, just on a bed essentially, and food. So yeah, then I came, and then I started working here, just by chance. Really.
Okay. So you just arrived here, like you booked a night here, and you asked her, "Can I work here?"
No, so I booked 3 nights.
Yes.
And on my first night I met a girl, a Swiss girl.
Yeah.
And we got on really well, and we were like, and she had just had a bad experience with a workaway. This woman had just kicked her out basically of this house in Provence that she was doing workaway at.
Really?
Yeah, and was like, you've got to go now. And this girl, Martina was her name, she couldn't find a hostel anywhere around Provence. Everything was booked up.
Okay.
So she came to Lyon, and this was the only place she found. And so we spent a few days together, and we were like, okay, we can go somewhere together now. There's 2 of us. And then we kind of found somewhere in Bordeaux. But like kind of last minute, I decided that I wanted to stay longer in Lyon, just because she had 2 weeks only as holiday, and I had like an infinite amount of time. So I didn't really want to rush just off from Lyon, because I really like it here. And so then I got talking to Alan, I think, and Sam, and asked them if it was possible, and they were like, yeah, sure. Like, we need someone. You can work with Alfonso.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been nice being 2 of us, I think, and just sharing that with someone.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And so you go in 2 weeks? In 1 week?
It's about 10 days, yeah.
10 days.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you think so far about Lyon?
it's it's really beautiful for me.
Yeah.
I like the two rivers. I like how different they are.
Yeah.
I like how the city's like built on different levels, and just going up high and just seeing like a panorama of the whole city. I like the lights at night, and just the architecture in the buildings, and the people as well.
Yes.
Yeah, the people are open.
Really different from Paris.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, really friendly, and just people talking to you in the street, and I like that.
Much smiliest.
Smilier.
Smilier.
Yeah.
Smilier.
Definitely.
Than Paris.
Yeah, definitely.
And so, what are some places that you want to recommend in Lyon?
The crepe place.
The quoi?
The crepe place.
Oh yes.
I think it's called like the crepio.
Crepe? Crepeo?
I think so. I don't know how to pronounce it.
The crepio.
Crepio.
Okay.
Crepio. Yeah.
So you go often there?
I've been twice. I actually went with Alfonso, because I was telling him about it, because I'm such a fat bitch. And then he actually came with me. He couldn't finish his crepe. He got halfway through it and was like, oh, it's too much for me. So I had 1.5 crepes basically. But yeah.
Okay.
And also, I don't know, I really like all the comic book shops.
Oh.
The band.
Bande dessinée.
Dessinée.
Bande dessinée. Yes.
So yeah, there's loads of those.
Yes.
I've been
Yes.
to.
Do you have for your trip during your travel, maybe even before coming to France, do you have a really what the fuck story? At some point you were in a situation and you were like, what the fuck?
Being in France?
No, in any travel that you did.
Oh, okay. Yeah, quite a few actually.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm not going to tell you all on the podcast, but I guess one was just some of the people that I stayed with, on workaway, and just some of the places that I found myself in. The woman that I stayed near Nantes.
Yeah.
Was the first. So I was 20, and I was just on my own. I just got the bus out to Paris, and I was writing to her 3 weeks before in England, and then I met up with her for the first time. I got to Nantes finally after Paris, and she picked me up in her car, and the first thing, and she was just smoking this massive spliff, driving in the car.
Not cigarettes, drug cigarette.
Yeah. In the car. Her car was just covered in everything, just cigarette butts, just bottles of empty bottles, just loads of trash. And the first place she took me was to a scrapyard, a metal, where cars get scrapped. Metal gets scrapped. Yes. And because she wanted to pick up some materials to build with. Okay. So I'm there in the car with her, she doesn't really speak much English, and then we're just going to this scrapyard, and they've got these guard dogs, and the guard dogs are mental, they're really crazy dogs, and they're just running around in circles barking, and then it's just what am I doing? She's driving me further away from a point, a city, and we're going more and more into the countryside. We got there and it was okay, kind of. She was really crazy, but it was okay. But yeah, that was I guess my first proper experience of France 5 years ago. And I loved it so much. Came back.
You French crazy bastard.
Yeah, basically. But yeah, she owned a vineyard, and she was just she was so eccentric, and amazing woman. Like she had built like what she had done on her own, just with her own 2 hands.
Okay.
But yeah, she was just always drunk, just on her own wine. But yeah.
Okay.
That was a crazy experience.
A big thanks to Amy who has accepted to talk with me during this episode. Thanks also to the Alter Hostel and its staff for letting me record the podcast, and thank you for listening to it. I highly invite you to listen to the full interview with Amy in the previous episode. You can also find other episodes of the podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast, PodCloud, and the Internet Archive. You can follow my adventure on Instagram and Facebook, and all the links will be in the descriptions. And if you like this episode, please share it and talk about it around you. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a thumbs up and 5 stars. And I see you next Monday.